Storytelling is powerful. Stories capture the moments that shape us and the voices that move us. From personal journeys to tales that twist and turn, stories help shape our world and matter now more than ever. On today's podcast, I'm delighted to be talking with internationally renowned storyteller, Wobbling Pen. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to the Alison Mcwhinnie podcast, where we have discussions on business and wellbeing success. And today I'm delighted to be having a chat with Penny of Wobbling Pen. And Penny, perhaps you'd like to start off by telling us what is Wobbling Pen and what does it do?
Wobbling Pen is a platform for storytelling, for sharing stories, present, past, and future. In some instances, and it was started to fill a gap where people no longer talk to one another very much, don't meet up very much, but would like to have some sort of human exchange. So that's what started Wobbling Pen off, and to signpost people to helpful organisations that they may not know about.
Wonderful. So you founded Wobbling Pen. Tell us a bit about your background.
My background, I was born in Scotland. I travelled to Malaya when I was young with my parents, and then we came back when Malaya had their independence, came back to UK, and then we went to, what happened next? Oh, then I started nursing, and my nursing career took me to different places, and I found nursing quite tricky at first because I am dyslexic. And we didn't really realise that at the time, all those years ago, but it just was quite a struggle. But now I'm a writer, and it's most unbelievable, quite astonishing. I still can't get used to the fact.
And how did you come up with the name Wobbling Pen? I think it's a genius name, and that you've got a genius logo as well. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I had polio when I was 17, so I wobbled a lot. Time went by, and my writing is dyslexic, so it wobbles all over the place. So I thought, Wobbling Pen, when I started to write. And when I said Wobbling Pen, then Facebook said, you can't have your name as just Wobbly, because I wanted to be wobbly. They said, no, you can't have that. You have to have a first name. So I thought, oh, Penny. So that's where it came from, on the spur of a moment.
What kind of stories and material does Wobbling Pen publish?
The thing is, what doesn't it?
Okay. That's a better question then.
Very, very. I mean, I never know what I am going to write. Talk about publishing. I've published 4 books. One about a cat, one about a dog, one about birds. And then I've got a song rather, they're the published things. And then I have 4 audiobooks and 4 ebooks to go with the audiobooks, which are able to be put together as an educational package.
Wonderful.
That's what I've done.
Where can people access these books and audiobooks? Are you on Amazon or?
We're in a bit of a hiatus at the moment because my website is being redesigned and rehashed. So at the moment it's static, but I will let people know when we can. But you can get hold of me on my email site, wobblingpenstoryteller@gmail.com. But I will give notice of when it's available on the website.
Okay, so they're available from the website when that's up. Are they available on Amazon or anything like that?
Amazon, we had some issues with, but we've now sorted it out. It's all to do with the phone number. And it's being sorted right now in New Zealand because my chip was damaged. And then my carer used her phone number to get things moving for me, but it stopped me from using Amazon over here. It sounds thing, but it's just being sorted now.
Being sorted now.
Mm.
So does Wobbling Pen host live readings or spoken word events?
Yes, all over the place, really. I've talked to people on trains, bus stops, hospital bedsides, schools, libraries. So yes, anywhere that people start to talk to me, and I hear their stories and they hear mine, or I try to deflect them to mine.
Sure.
If it's applicable, Mm.
And can people book Wobbling Pen for an event?
Yes, they can. They can do that, certainly. They did that at the library, and they've done it at schools. And I've done Zoom calls to foreign schools for children abroad.
And is there a Wobbling Pen community network?
Not at the moment, but there will be soon. I've got Facebook, which of course is a network. I've had that for a long time, and I've got quite a following on there. And I've also got a blog, which I put my stories out on, which is free at the minute. And it's got an awful lot of stories on there. They're short with a picture, and they're free at the moment. But when the website comes up, we're going to make some changes there too. But there will always be some free, because I want people who can't afford to read my stories to be able to read them freely and pay for the rest on the site when they become books or audio files.
And you've got quite an impressive reach, haven't you? What's your current reach?
Well, at the moment on my blog, it's something like 85,000.
Wow.
So I've just gone over that this last weekend. So we're 200 and something like that. Anyway. So it's growing, and it's growing daily, really.
Yeah.
Which is it's a little comfort when you write stories. You've no idea whether anybody here has heard them, and just very occasionally you meet somebody when you're out, and they say, "You're Wobbling Pen," and you go, "Oh, am I?" It's a strange feeling, really strange, because I write. It's not about me. Writing for me is not about me, not me, the writer. It's about the stories that are told and retold to help people in situations where they're pretty grim. Some people have pretty grim lives, and it just gives them a moment to breathe, laugh, or reflect. And that, to me, is the important thing. That's the vital part of Wobbling Pen.
Yeah. And certainly from some of the stories you've read out to me, I thought, wow, this is so powerful, because if somebody was going through that particular situation, your story not only understands it, but is so supportive of it. And I think the reader would feel support from that and some encouragement. So leading on from that, can we have a recital from you?
Right. Well, this is a bit of a funny one and a bit of a serious one at the same time. But
Okay.
it's a very typical of a writer, really. So I'll start. It's a little bit longer than the usual ones, but Anne likes it. So there we go. It's called More Than My Nails. Having my nails manicured is normally a quiet affair, a necessity in my recently declining years due to split nails. Today was surprisingly different. The young woman who diligently worked away, stripping off the old polish, began asking me questions, which I was delighted to answer and elaborate on. Then she said, "I love your voice. It reminds me of my English teacher at school. She too was lovely to listen to." So I said, "Would you like a story? As I am a storyteller." She looked up, and behind her mask, her eyes twinkled. She quietly replied, "Yes, please." I read her a very apt one called, "Would you like a story?" Would you like a story? Would you like a tale? One filled with terror, murder, and mystery? Or maybe one dodging bomb blasts and bullets across a country at war? No? Perhaps a sweet little fairy tale to gently take you away from it all. Maybe you'd love the thrill of a romance that sweeps you into someone's arms, embracing in the moonlight on a ship's deck, engines pulsating gently beneath your feet, being transported on a flight to a tropical paradise, to an adventure with sun, fun, and amazing new food to try. Or how about a journey across an immense desert, swaying on a camel's back, with stars twinkling in the darkness as companions overhead, shining light, beamed from millions of miles away, lighting up the canopy in the most spectacular way. Or would you like to meet an animal never seen before, who does not want to hurt or eat you, just to love you forevermore? Each one of these is possible, lying tucked up in your bed, with a book in hand, written by a writer with an imagination, capable of leaving the gift of wonderful stories to be relived again and again inside your head. Perhaps you could pick up a pen and relive stories you've kept locked away. Maybe now might be the time to share them. Go on, give it a go. My young woman was delighted as it brought back happy memories of school and a wonderful teacher. 2 other women also enjoyed the unexpected storytelling, related while I had more than my nails manicured today. It was fun.
Oh, lovely. Lovely. Are the stories available in multiple languages?
Not at the moment, but they will be slowly.
Wonderful. What's your advice to anyone who's interested in becoming a storyteller? What advice would you give them?
One of the first things I say is age is no barrier. You can write from a little one as fast as you can put pen to paper. You can make up your stories, and you can carry on till you're long past your age. In your 90s, we have some wonderful storytellers, 90-year-old storytellers. So that would be my biggest advice. And to be honest, to be a good listener, listen well, and just kind. Be kind in your storytelling. Sometimes I have got some stories which are political. Sometimes I wrap it up usually, but I try to keep them as bland as I can. But sometimes you can't. To be a writer, you have to be honest. And if you're honest, you have to speak about what is happening in your day, in your period, in your time, to stand up for people who are being oppressed or whatever. But honesty is important, yes.
Yeah. And you've touched on this a little bit, but you do collaborate with schools and libraries and community organisations, don't you, where there are openings to do so. So that's very important as well.
And I've also collaborated with other poets, where the poet will say, may I join you with a collaboration? And I'd say yes. And it's quite amusing what comes out of those sort of relationships. It's really nice. And then I was asked to be a judge on a children's storytelling competition in India. Well, it was across the world, actually, but based in India. And I was very worried about it because being dyslexic, I thought, this isn't for me. Please ask somebody else. They said, no, we want you. We want you. So, and there were 2 other judges, which I thought eased it a bit for me. So I said, all right, this is for children. So I said, okay. I had to listen to 94 videos of children reading stories they'd written or ones they saw that they liked. And it was a most wonderful experience. And I'm just so glad I didn't say no. I said yes, because it gave me a window on what the young people are thinking about, talking about, what worries them, what pleases them. And I would never have known that had I not done that. It was very, very valuable.
And are there any upcoming collaborations with artists or musicians?
Well, I've got my big story coming out, which soon, and that has got eight songs in it, which will require music. So I'm now looking around for some music to go with the story, with the songs which already have been written. And I'm looking for artists to do my artwork on some of my stories, because I like using new young art to promote them, really, as well as my stories. And they can use my stories on their own behalf with their art if they want to.
Yeah.
So I think that's very important for us to share our talent around.
Shall we have another recital?
Oh, yes, have another recital. I woke up one morning and I never know when I'm going to write. It might be television, something, a bird flying past the window, or I've stubbed my toe, or all sorts of silly things. This one is called A Sad But Beautiful Ending. A vase upon the window ledge has held a gift of tulips, colourfully displayed. Each day, on opening my eyes, a touch of pleasure surged, seeing each flower upright, straight and tall, as petals opened, showing their perfection. For days I enjoyed their presence. Then a slow drying and aging of the petals' tips warned of their decline, yet still they retained a certain beauty in their changed shape. Not one petal has the bunch yet let slip. With my camera, I captured the vision that had held me captivated. On opening the curtains today, the petals might detach on the shelf, a gift that has given me pleasure while living. I hope you too, from this tale, enjoy the flowers I was given.
Beautiful. How can audiences stay informed about your work and your events and opportunities coming up?
Well, I belong to the WI and I belong to other groups. Chamber of Commerce know about me now in my own area. Churches know about me. So slowly moving. And Facebook is a big place for me to get my work known. And it grows quickly in that respect. Yes. I'm starting to go out more because I have been very disabled with different things happening in my own life. So I've had to keep at home, but now I'm beginning to move out and about. I've got help with a friend, Anne, who takes me, sees me on and off the buses, my three-wheeler. So that's very important for me to get about. So I am out and about more.
So if people want to support and follow you, there's Facebook. There's also your blog, isn't there, as well? Although you're making changes to that.
Yes.
Before we go into a final recital, is there anything else you'd like to say about Wobbling Pen?
I can just tell you this. I was on holiday recently and I gave my card to the lady and she said, she looked at it and she said, "What's this?" And I said, "It's a storytelling." Oh, she said, "I'll look when I go home." And next day she came herring after me. She said, you. She couldn't remember my name. She called me Marie. She was shouting. And I said, "Yes, what's the matter? What's the matter?" She said, "That card you gave me yesterday, I opened my computer, and the very first story I read, she said, made me cry all day." And I thought, gosh, what did I give her that made her cry all day? And then I remembered it was called Let Me Sing. And it was about a choir that was started in Wimbledon by people who'd lost somebody through suicide. And they met every month to have this choir. They sang and they were happy. They talked about the people they'd lost with joy and happiness, whereas normally they couldn't do that in an ordinary society. And she said, "I lost my mum when I was 10 and I had not been able to cry. Thank you, she said, and gave me an enormous hug."
My goodness.
So you never know who's listening. You never know who's there. So it's very important to share stories because it does help so many people. So in so many different ways in all parts of the world.
Yeah, I think that story just goes to show the actual power of storytelling, doesn't it?
Yeah. I was trying to find the actual key, but I've got it somewhere, but I thought I had it to hand. That's not. No, I've not. It's a shame. No, when I find it another time, I'll let you have it, but it's very good. The other one that's a bit of fun, it's called Alarm Clock Calling. Alarm clock calling, can't stop yawning. I don't want to get out of bed. Off I go again, slipping back with eyes slowly closing, tugged into the land of nod. Sheer bliss, it has to be said. Alarm clock calling, please stop, as I am ignoring to carry on my perfect snoring. There you go again, bashing my grey cells with your insensitive ringing. Your repeat dinging, alarm clock calling. Don't you remember? It's the weekend. Sorry. It was my fault. I can't stop yawning. I remember I have no need to leave my bed. Not yet, until I awake to begin excited weekend planning. Just remember, no alarming calls from you will I take till your button is pressed, announcing Monday morning.
Wonderful. If you've got one more.
Yes, yes. Well, this is much more serious one, and very up to date. A sad one, perhaps too. It's called Shocking Loss. I went to bed to my mum to hug her tight, as I did each and every night. Into bed I slid, as a prayer left my lips. Keep us safe, as bombs fell, changing night into bright daylight. Slowly relaxing to banish the fear as the noise fades. My eyelids close, and into healing sleep I slip. A blast, a searing pain, which I cannot explain. No idea where I am, noise and screams, including my voice. Nothing familiar around me, I cannot sit up. Mother called my name, crawled towards me. My son, oh, my son. I reached up to hug her. It was then she said, my son, your arms are gone. It was then I knew I'd never again be able to hug my mum. Yet in that moment, I gave praise and thanks to Allah. I still had my mother.
Oh my goodness. I think the stories you have told us today just show the breadth and depth of the range of stories that Wobbling Pen does, from the deep and serious to the light-hearted, fun and jovial. It's an amazing breadth, isn't it?
Yes, this is what people say to me. They say they follow me because they never know what's coming. And I said to them, should I put them into sad stories, happy stories, love, travel? No, no, we like the excitement. We like the wonder what's coming next. Because
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's telling you the perfection. I have no idea what I'm going to write.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, that's life, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is life, as Anne just murmured to me. It is life. That's what life. You don't know what's coming round the corner when you wake up every day. You don't know if you're coming home after a day. And you don't know, love comes to a way when you don't expect it. So,
Yeah.
yes, magical, lots of wonderful things.
On that note, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's been a lovely chat with you, and I think that your stories are just so powerful and so helpful to people. So do follow Wobbling Pen and look at the website when it's ready as well, and support Wobbling Pen. That would be amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.